Hello, everyone. I am Sean, and welcome once again to my Horror Corner. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate that. And to those of you who have been subscribing to the channel, a special thank you to you guys. You're the absolute best. All of the sharing, the comments, the likes. I love the interaction with the horror community, so thank you all so much. Just like last episode, I'm super excited today to have my friends Robbie and Kaylee from That Horror Couple back. Thank you all so much for coming on again.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
And I like our outfits. We got a theme.
We're all rocking
Jason.
Yeah.
We did. We all figured it out today. We didn't pull that off for Halloween, but we got it.
That's true.
Technically, I'm the only one that's correct here, though, because
I could not find. I have that shirt. I just don't know where it is.
The mask was not a thing yet. Okay, Jason was just in the ocean.
Hey, it's fine. We're still in the franchise. We're
I'm
right.
just saying,
we're in the ballpark, but you are spot on. I like the shirt. I don't have that one, but I do like the shirt.
I think it was Gutter Garbs, I believe. Yeah, we love them.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one thing I was telling a friend the other day, Brendan. I was telling him the other day that I have got to step up the t-shirt game because, I see him come on and he's always got on some different shirt. Y'all have always got on something different. And I'm like, damn, I've just got like maybe 5 or 6. Like, I need to fix this issue. I got to increase the shirts.
It's a rough time to do that.
Oh, yeah, we've been collecting them for years, so they went up in price, I think, a little bit. We don't buy them as often as we used to. Definitely not, but
yeah, I think everything's more expensive now because I look at the prices. I'm like, oh, I like the design. Then I see the price, and I'm like, say what?
Yeah,
yeah, I know, man. And I'm glad y'all said that because I thought it was just me. I'm thinking, okay, I'm old and don't understand what things cost anymore. Because I was looking at I think I was looking at Terror Threads or something the other day, their site, looking at stuff. And I'm like, damn, I used to could get a shirt for like half this price. I know I could have. Like, what happened? But
I think they all used to be like
25,
20 something, and now they're all closer to like 40. So it's like, what?
I just think it blows my mind.
It's the world, man. We buy dinner, we can't get out of there for like $50 somehow.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
I know. Yeah.
I'm gonna start
food value meals aren't a value anymore.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start catching my own food, like hunting.
Rob.
I'm gonna start hunting.
Good
like
luck
Daryl.
with
that. Yeah, like Merle. I'm Daryl.
That will work. Yeah, I'm in trouble if we ever get to that point. I'll just be honest with y'all. I'm not good at all that hunting, fishing stuff. That's just not me. But
yeah,
I don't know what'll happen.
You just yell at the window, "Help me!"
Yes, yeah. I'll just be begging somebody for help. See if anybody will do anything. I don't know if you're going to be hunting, and maybe I'll try to find you guys and be like, all right, I'll just.
Rob can do it.
I'll let Rob catch the food and I'll help cook it or something. Maybe I can cook. I just can't catch it. So yeah.
Right.
There you go.
You'll be the chef of the crew.
That works.
Yes.
That part I can do.
Kaylee,
I would rather be Negan and just have a bat and tell everybody else to go do shit. But
there you go.
Wait. So you're the leader?
Yeah.
It sounds good to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm catching the food. I mean,
Daryl's not the leader, technically.
Okay.
That's right. That's awesome. I love the little sidetracks that we get on these side stories.
Oh yeah, those are always fun.
Well, every time I come on your show, you're like all organized with like notes, and I always pull you out of them. So I'm just how I do things.
That's all right. That's all right. I do the notes mainly for me, just to try to help me stay somewhat on track, but it doesn't always happen. It does not always happen. Which is fine. As long as we're having fun, that's what matters. So yeah,
it's good to have guidelines though and talking points. I'm sure. So
yeah, it helps me a little bit anyway because it's just the way my brain works. But all right, well, I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see said notes, and we'll get into this.
I'm talking about one of my favorite films today. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah,
I love this movie, dude.
Yeah, I do too, and I'm very curious to see. When we get to the end, I'm curious to see what kind of ranking you guys give this because I really do try not to give, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself or spoil anything, but October's hard for me with the way I've set my schedule up for the movies I'm doing in October because I really don't give 10s that often. I really don't.
Yeah.
But when I was looking at my list of movies for October and know that I'm doing like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, Friday the 13th, Child's Play, Scream, I'm like, damn. There's 10s all over the place, right?
Oh yeah.
Those are hard hitters, dude. Those are all hard hitters. Like
yeah.
Those are like main event champions right there.
Yeah. Yeah, and for some reason I decided to put them all in the same month, but that's okay.
Oh, it's going to be a good,
well, that's a perfect month to do it. Watch all your favorite horror films in October.
Sean's Horror Corner is going to be like strong in October. Then I'm thinking
that works. I'm okay with that.
I like your new background, dude.
In all honesty, it's the same background that I had before. I think it just
it looks spacious.
You can see more. I think you can see Jason now.
I think that's what I was. Yeah, and if I moved it a little bit or maybe try to adjust it, you might can see more. The only other person I don't think you can see is well, you can barely see him. Pennywise is over there by Freddy.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Michael and Jigsaw are behind me, but yeah, I was telling you guys when I moved, the place that I was in at that old house was so cramped. I didn't have a lot of space, and so everything was just right there on me. And here I was able to move things out a little bit where you could see a little bit more. I just don't know if I like the fact that you can see the wall above it and below it, but it's all right.
No, it looks nice. It gives you have more space.
Well, you upgraded to it should be Sean's Horror House now or something. It's like we're out of the corner, folks. We got all this space now.
We're growing.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I'll think about that. And if you do hear one thing about doing this with my earpiece, you might hear my dog. My little dog likes to bark anytime she hears anybody, so she thinks she's a watchdog. So if you hear her, I apologize.
No, you're fine. We're dog lovers.
I saw somebody on your porch today.
That's Bella, right?
Yeah, that's my dog Bella.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She goes out there on the balcony with me. Out back when I go out and smoke, she goes out there and looks around and pretty much barks at anybody that's walking around.
I saw Bella, then like these horror figurines.
Oh yeah, the little. We saw the heart. Those are really cool.
I got those. Actually, my son got those for me last year for Christmas. And he was so mad because I'm trying to remember who else out there. There's Freddy, Ghostface, Michael, Jason. There's a Leatherface, and there's a Sam. And he thought he got Chucky as well. And it was not Chucky that was in the package. It was something completely different. Neither one of us knew what it was. So he was kind of frustrated. He thought he had that one too. But yeah, they are pretty cool. I used to have them sitting on my front porch at the old house I lived in. So now they're just out there on my balcony. But yeah, I like them. I like all that stuff. So
how's Bella liking the new place?
She seems good. Yeah, she just she found out where I was going to put her food and water bowl. And yeah, other than that, she's happy. She follows me all over the place. She's still getting used to it, I can tell, because if I leave the room, then she's following me everywhere, just seeing where I'm going and what we're doing next. But yeah, she's doing good. She's just laying over there on the floor watching me right now.
Oh,
that's cool. Yeah, it looks cool. It looks great though. It looks bright or something. It looks brighter.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. And I'll try to get some pictures up. Like I said, I'm getting everything hung back up now as far as my horror decorations. So I'll try to get some pictures where everybody can see what I have. Still a lot more I want, but this is a pretty good start. So
yeah, you got to show me. I want to see.
Yeah, I'll do that. All right, we will get started on this tagline real quick for Friday the 13th. They were warned, they are doomed, and on Friday the 13th, nothing will save them. Quick overview: camp counselors are stalked and murdered by an unknown assailant while trying to reopen a summer camp that was the site of a child drowning. Released May 9th of 1980, directed by Sean Cunningham, written by Victor Miller, produced by Sean Cunningham, cinematography by Barry Abrams, music by Harry Manfredini, distributed by Paramount Pictures, a runtime of 95 minutes, a budget of between $550,000 and $650,000, box office of $59 million, so huge success at the theaters. Rotten Tomatoes scores 68% from critics, 60% from the audience, and an IMDb score of 6.4 out of 10. To me, those scores seem really low, but that's just me.
What's with IMDb? What's with IMDb, man? What's their problem?
Yeah, that's crazy. To me, that's absolutely insane. But before we go any further, let's stop right there. We talked about it being written by Victor Miller. We talked about the cinematography by Barry Abrams, Harry Manfredini doing the music. Give me you guys' thoughts. This is a little different than what I normally do, but give me your thoughts on story, cinematography, and the score for this film.
I think it's all wonderful. This movie is so it feels like you're in Camp Crystal Lake. They kind of bring you right in. Like that's how I felt the first time I watched it, and every time I rewatch it, I still feel the same way. That score really sets the tone.
Harry
for
Manfredini,
the film. Yes,
he used something called the Echoplex, and he said the word "kill" and "ma," and that's the classic.
Right.
So like, just stuff that is legendary today all started from this film.
Yeah,
and I think Sean S. Cunningham I looked into, I was reading about it, and he started off doing family films and comedies, and then he started doing like adult films and like porno, and yeah, he has a wide range, this guy.
Yeah.
And both of those like weren't making too much money, and I think he saw how much money Halloween was making, so he goes, "Yo," he's like, "I should do something like that." So I think he took the idea and he just took it to a campground, which was a great cinematography. I something about the atmosphere, because I love watching horror movies when it's raining out or when it's thunder,
Right.
and like they brought that to this movie with the cabin with the rain, and Jack's like, it's gonna tear down that valley like a son of a gun.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I'm like, yo, and they're isolated, they're secluded, there's no cell phones, so like
Right.
there is that feeling.
Yeah,
of
you
like,
feel very secluded, and I feel like this movie, even though technically it's a summer camp, I feel it reminds me. It feels so Halloween. It feels like October, even though it's technically summertime. I feel like all the Jason films, they bring you in like that.
And I just want to clarify, Sean S. Cunningham wasn't doing the humping. I think he was just directing the porno. Because like Sean Cunningham sounds like a porn name, kind of. I just want to
a little bit.
Yeah, I want to clarify. I think he was just directing, as far as I know.
Okay.
So.
Well, I appreciate. I know our listeners, or my listeners, appreciate you clarifying that, because they were all about to go look for this guy.
Yeah.
To find his videos. So thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah.
He has a nice ass, though. I will say.
But no, you know, it's funny what you were talking about, because you are spot on. The first, I don't know if it was the first film that he worked on, but the first big film that he worked on is he worked with Wes Craven on Last House on the Left.
Dude,
that
movie's brutal, dude.
Yeah, it really is. But that's kind of where he got the start, and then was incredibly inspired by Halloween and wanted to keep going from there. And I agree with you as well. I think the score is fantastic. I love the cinematography, the way everything looks, the way everything is shot. I really like the story. And I'll mention something here in a few minutes. You were talking about the time of year, even though it's supposed to be a summer camp movie, it gives you a different feeling. Kaylee, I found a fact about the film that I did not know until yesterday that I'll mention before we actually get into the plot a little bit. That it's just funny you said that, because there were some things going on that weren't summer like when they were making this. So we will get into that. But yeah, I agree. I really like the story. I like the cinematography. I like the score. I'm curious here lately with some of the older films that I've been talking about. Isaiah from The Bitter Wolf, he and I have talked about both Black Christmas and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the originals.
Love Isaiah.
Isaiah's great. He's so cool. Rob from Slasher Radio, he and I just talked about The Town That Dreaded Sundown. Some of these older movies like that, especially from the 70s, they had such a realism feel. I mean, it felt like you were watching, it almost felt like you were watching real life. Texas Chainsaw Massacre has a little bit of a documentary feel type to it in a way.
Yeah.
Do you think that this Friday the 13th film from 1980, do you think it captured the same feeling? Maybe not as much, but a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. It kind of makes you feel like you're there with them as they're going about, like before the bodies start piling up. It feels like you're kind of there, like watching them set up for camp, and how they're worried about this, that, and the other thing, who's going to cook in the kitchen. It's kind of like they're just trying to figure things out and get the camp started. So it kind of feels like you're a camper and you're a part of it. It kind of brings you in that way.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, this is also at a time before like CGI and everything. So everything, they couldn't rely on like special effects. Everything was practical. Everything was shot,
which is better in my opinion.
I love the POV, and I love the POV shots we get in this. In this, like, I love the POV, and so I think just the time period it came out, they had no choice but to like make this look realistic, because they didn't have many tools to work with. But it makes it scarier, in my opinion. It makes it more realistic. And I said it before about the location. You feel like secluded. It feels real to you, you know? So
right. No, I completely agree. I don't think it has quite that same, the vibe isn't quite as strong as some of those other movies I mentioned, but I still think it's there. And I feel like it seems very relatable. You do feel like, and the group, I mean, we'll get into them here in just a second, but the group of characters all seem pretty likable. It looks like it'd be fun people to hang out with. And it just looks like, I mean, that's what, again, I grew up in the late 70s, early 80s, but I'm like, that looks like someplace I've been. I mean, it looks very relatable, which gives you that realism a little bit, I think.
Yes.
Likable cast too. Like Brenda, Marcy, Alice, Jack was Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Ned was the goofball. I
Yeah.
mean, they had like the stereotypical like different kind of guys too.
Right.
So it's also one of those things where I basically can remember everybody's name, and I can't always do that with every film. But like, I think they're just so like memorable. Even Annie, like that never made it to the campground. Spoiler alert. But so Annie in the beginning, even we got Crazy Ralph. He's such a good like it's like kind of like Dr. Loomis telling us about Michael. Crazy Ralph told us about just Crystal Lake in general. So
just not as many times.
Yeah.
And he was the local drunk, so no one took him seriously, So
right. Well, and that's a good lead in. So I will mention just a few members of the cast real quick: Betsy Palmer, Adrienne King, Harry Crosby, Laurie Bartram, Mark Nelson, Jeannie Taylor, Robbie Morgan, Kevin Bacon. We'll kind of stop there. We kind of talked about it a little bit, but I think the cast is great. Everybody does a tremendous job. And I really like the characters. I feel like a lot of times I like it when, so a lot of times when you watch these slasher movies, you find yourself, especially after you've gotten into the franchise a little bit, you're watching more for Jason. I mean, you want to see Jason, you want to see the kills that he comes up with, what's he do to all these people. And so if you don't really like the people that he's after, it's not that big a deal. But I think it just adds to it when you do like them as well. And this seems like a pretty likable group of guys. I'm not sure about, we can talk about it now if y'all want to. Ned is supposed to be the comedy relief. I don't know if I think he's funny. But there's a couple of times that I kind of laughed a little bit, but for the most part, I'm like, this guy, he's funny watching him like this, but I think if I was there, he'd be on my damn nerves.
Yeah, he's kind of obnoxious.
How about when that cop pulled up and he's doing like some Indian dance or something? Like,
yes.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, he was acting out. Yeah, I guess if you were really there and that was like your group of camp counselors and you're supposed to be acting all like mature and responsible and he's jumping around, I'd be annoyed.
we all have that one friend though that we're like, oh shit, they brought him. Like, like
I'm just hoping I'm not that one friend.
No.
You're the Jack. You're the Jack.
Okay, that works. I can do that. That part I can perfectly handle. But and he is kind of funny. You say that with the scene where he's acting like the old Indian. I was rewatching this yesterday, and again, I kind of like we talked about with Halloween. I didn't need to. I could have done this without watching the movie, but anytime I have an excuse to watch it, I'm going to. So I put it in yesterday, and I'm watching it, and right about the time that part comes on, I get a phone call, and so I answer the phone. They're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I was watching Friday the 13th." And they're like, "Okay, well, I won't keep you very long." And then about that time, he starts hollering, making the noise, and they were like, "What are you watching?" And I said, Friday the 13th. It sounds like Indians. And I'm like, yeah.
Nice.
They're funny.
If you know though. Like, I mean, I think I had that movie memorized, so I think I would, but like I would be like,
well, if it's not a movie you've revisited a bunch, I would probably be like, what is that noise?
Yeah. But okay, a couple of quick notes here real quick, behind the scenes stuff. Not a lot here probably that people don't already know. Robbie, you mentioned earlier where Manfredini got the from, which I'm so glad that I finally got to see what that actually was, because for the longest time that's not the way I was understanding it, but now I heard it that way. Now I'm like, okay, that is what he's saying, which he pulls from. I'm sure most people know this, but towards the end of the movie, when Mrs. Voorhees is chasing Alice, she keeps talking to herself saying, "Kill her, mommy," and that's where the sound things come from, the KI from kill and the ma from mommy. So just a few interesting things like that. We mentioned Sean Cunningham was inspired by John Carpenter's Halloween. The original screenplay was titled A Long Night at Camp Blood. Victor Miller, this guy concerned me after I read this stuff about him, who did a lot of the things for this movie. Loved the creation of Mrs. Voorhees. Miller stated, quote, "Mrs. Voorhees was the mother I always wanted, a mother who would have killed for her kids." He also stated that nightmares that he has had throughout his life about different ways he has died is where he got his death scenes from. I'm a little concerned about that guy's mindset.
Yeah, he's got quite the imagination.
Well, no, I'm sure there's some people that like think like, oh well, if my kid like drowned and nobody was watching him, I'd do the same thing. Like so, I think there is like a sympathy with, I guess, Mrs. Voorhees a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but they didn't
it's
do it
somewhat
though.
there.
So
Right.
they weren't the people that did it, so it
Yeah.
doesn't really make sense.
Alice is
you
like,
know?
bitch, I didn't even know your son.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is because this isn't the original staff, right?
No,
So-
no,
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah, so because they closed it for 2 years.
It was like 1958, right?
Yeah,
or something?
they closed
Yeah, I
it,
believe
and
that's right.
then they were reopening it. And I think when they were reopening it, that's when she got all like upset. So we never see any kids at the camp, so they were just setting up the whole
Yeah.
time. And I love when they first pull in too, because Steve Christie's just like I don't think he says hello. He's just like, move that tree. He starts like ordering them around right away. He's like, move that
Yeah.
tree.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, and Steve Christie definitely likes Alice. I got that impression. He's like
I was
he's
going to
walk-
mention that at some point. That's an odd relationship, in
He
my
looks-
opinion.
he looks older.
Yeah,
He
I
looks
don't know
older than
how
them.
old he's
I don't
supposed to
know.
be and how old they are.
But-
I don't know.
No, but he's walking around like showing off his chest hair. and
Yeah,
he's
maybe
like,
he thinks she likes it.
He's like, oh, you sketched me in your art pad, did you, Alice? Yeah, yeah. And
Well, I
he's
mean, she said she did it from the night before, so they had to have had some kind of relationship there. It was just, yeah, but I got the same impression that he seemed like he was at least some older than the rest of them. But yeah, who knows?
Yep.
It's interesting.
He seemed like the guy in charge, like he was the boss or something.
Yeah.
Like, But
Yeah.
I got this like flirt vibe with Alice for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and yeah, he works shirtless too.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, for whatever reason. But Victor Miller did also not like the idea of Jason being the killer in the sequels. Jason was dead. He was a victim, not a villain. They should have left it that way, was Miller's thoughts on what they did with Jason. Jason also was not supposed to originally appear. He was not in the original screenplay or script. That idea came from special effects guy Tom Savini, who wanted one more jump scare at the end of the movie. A couple of things that I had never heard before, real quick, though, and I'm curious you guys' thoughts on a couple of these. So producers wanted Sally Field for the role of Alice.
Very cool.
But realized they could not afford her, so they ended up going with a lot of unknowns instead. Thoughts? Can you imagine seeing Sally Field in this movie?
I could, because I've seen her in like a thriller type
No, she did
films before.
She did a movie called Home for the Holidays, and
Okay, I didn't know
that. I think that was a horror movie, but I watched it once and I don't remember it. But I don't know. But it's kind of interesting that like Kevin Bacon was here before he was a star.
I think she could have done it, because she has a good range of like, she's good with emotional like acting, like Steel Magnolias and this other movie, like I think it's called Not Without My Daughter. That one's pretty like emotional. So I think she could do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she could have done it for sure.
Yeah, you're probably right. Not Without My Daughter. I forgot about that one. I originally know Sally Field because my parents were huge like Smokey and the Bandit fans, and so that's where I knew Sally Field from. So pitching her in that, it's hard for me to imagine her being in this film, but she has done a lot of different things.
I can't picture her decapitating Mrs. Voorhees though.
I don't know. I think she could do it.
She might could. Who knows?
They wanted her to play Alice or Mrs. Voorhees? Alice. They wanted her to be Alice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they wanted
I
her
think
for
she
the
could
role
have
of
done
Alice.
it. All right. So
Yeah.
So Steve Christie could have been trying to bang Sally Field.
I guess
He
so.
could have. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think too. What I wondered was how much of that would have changed part two, because with her being a little bit bigger actress, and she got even bigger later, but at that time, would she have come back and done a second one, and that have changed everything, where we got more of Alice in the second one? I mean, we don't know, but it just makes me wonder, if you've got a bigger star like that, how much of an effect that would have had on the next part.
Oh, they killed Alice in like the first scene of the sequel, anyway. So.
Well, no, he's saying
I
if
just
like
don't know
they
if
had
they
her,
would. Had it
would
been
they have
Sally
changed
Field,
it?
would they have done?
Oh, they would have kept it around.
Maybe they would have kept her, and then the whole story would have been. You're right. That would be.
Yeah, it
That's
could have changed
interesting to
everything.
think about. Mhm.
Yeah.
Or maybe they couldn't afford her for the sequel, and they would have to do
Maybe.
like a Hatchet type thing where it's somebody else.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what happened with Danielle Harris.
Mhm.
Yeah. They'll just get little Daniel Harris in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. I like Danielle Harris, so I'm okay with that.
She's
Mhm.
cool.
An early draft of the film, and we'll get to this because I think the character that an early draft of the film had Ned suffering from polio. He had deformed legs and was not able to walk, but had a strong muscular upper body. And then they ended up changing that. So when I read that, I had not heard that part before. So when I read that last night, when I was just looking over a few things, do you remember the character that I think it's in part two? The guy that's in the wheelchair that gets the famous kill. I almost feel like that's what they wanted for Ned, for what I was reading in the first one, and then for some reason changed it. But I feel like that's where that character had to have come from then for the second one. Had you guys ever heard about this before?
No, but
No, I really
Okay.
like the character of Mark though in the sequel,
Yeah.
so I'm glad that they took that idea and they took it and put it on another character because he was a really cool character.
he should have got laid. Though.
I was sad about that. I was like, oh, that he almost hooked up with her.
He was like so close, and that girl was really into him.
She was.
She was spraying her panties down with perfume, and then Jason's like the biggest cock blocker, just smacks him down the stairs, But Jason doesn't care, man. I don't know what kid. Doesn't. I don't know who raised Jason, man. He has no no manners.
No, very, very true. And yeah, I agree. He almost got lucky, but I still think that's a great kill in the second one, though.
It is.
Yeah. And then the character of Ned would go on to be the first practical Joker victim in the franchise, a trope that was later established in later slasher films. Betsy Palmer only accepted the role as Mrs. Voorhees because she needed money to buy a car. I'm pretty sure I had heard that somewhere before. But then here's the one thing that I wanted to mention, Kaylee, in regards to what you said earlier about it felt like it, even though it was supposed to be summer camp, it didn't feel like summer camp. So weather was extremely cold during filming. The opening scene where the first couple that gets killed initially were supposed to be walking beside the lake when they were attacked and killed. But a abundance of snowfall forced them to move everything and shoot the scene inside of a barn instead of out by the lake. So yeah, maybe that's why it doesn't feel like a summer camp movie, is because it was snowing around them while they were doing this, which I kind of think I would like to have seen. I think I would like to have seen Jason in the snow.
That would be really cool, Jason, actually.
Still, yeah.
But yeah, like the slasher at Camp Crystal Lake in the snow. That would be cool.
I do like the campfire scene though, where they're like milk and honey on the other side.
Yeah,
that's like they're singing campfire songs.
Yeah.
I mean, if they couldn't do the outside scene, I think they made up for it. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's good, but that would have been a cool scene though, to have it right out by the lake. That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm curious what that would have looked like, and I don't know. I've always kind of wondered. I wish we got more slasher stuff in the snow, because I don't know what you guys think about the Wrong Turn franchise.
Oh, I like it,
but I think it's I do too. But I think Wrong Turn 4, where it kind of goes back to the beginning, a lot of that happens in the snow in that movie, and I love it. So I really would like to see Jason, Michael, somebody be out there in the snow doing something.
Yeah,
that's a good one. Yeah, we haven't watched that one in forever, but that was a good sequel. Yeah.
I mean, you take Jason to space. Let's give him winter too.
Yeah,
let's see if he might as well, right?
Let's see if he can survive. Let's see if he could survive a blizzard.
Yeah.
So while we're on the topic, we've talked about the story, the cinematography, the score. We've talked about the cast and the characters. We were talking about what that first scene could have looked like had they did it that way. But with the way they did do it, tell me your thoughts on the opening scene, from the campfire song to the killing in the barn of that first couple. What are your feelings on the opening scene?
Me first?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I just think the movie doesn't waste much time, and it's a POV scene. And what makes this movie, to me, it stands out in the whole series, and it's kind of like the Halloween 3 of like the Friday the 13th series, in the fact that like we don't know who the killer is, and it's kind of like a whodunit. You know what I mean? We don't know who it is. It's kind of like a mystery almost. It's almost like a mystery type film.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the whole opening scene is very cool, very POV, but right away we know that like unexpected people are in danger, and like, you know, and
stuff's going down at this camp, and you shouldn't feel too safe there because there's a like you said, an unknown killer stalking the campgrounds.
Yeah,
it's a great setup for the film.
And Betsy Palmer is definitely the last person we would have expected.
Oh,
I mean, right away I'm thinking of some big scary guy. She looks like the grandma that's sewing my Christmas sweater for me or something.
Right.
You know.
Right. No, I agree, but I agree with exactly what you're saying, because I love that setup as well. I think the POV. I mean, we talked about how Cunningham was inspired by John Carpenter, so I'm sure that's a little bit of that coming from the same way Halloween started off to, you know, letting this movie do the same thing. But I love the fact that it jumps right in. Again, similar to Halloween, we get a kill immediately. And even though, you know, I plan on going through this whole franchise with you guys over some time, but so I don't want to say too much as far as what I like better throughout the franchise. Even though this is not my favorite movie in the franchise, I think there is a small part of me that misses the fact that we didn't know, because from here on out we do, and that's fine because I love Jason, but just not knowing who the killer is um, was kind of special. I wish we,
Yeah.
in some ways could have got something else like that somewhere down there along the way, but they tried that with keep changing the killer up in Jason Goes to Hell, I think, and that was terrible in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Don't
that's
tell
for
Ken.
another show.
Don't tell Ken Sledge that.
That's Ken Sledge's favorite.
I think he likes that. I always pick on him for that. So
There are a lot of people that do, and like I said, we'll get to that one at some point. But and I'm not saying it's terrible. It's just
It's definitely different. Yeah.
it's different.
There's
That's one
so
of those
much-
movies that it could have been. That could have been a good movie had it not been a Friday the 13th movie. Like, do
Yeah.
something completely different. Let's leave Jason out of it and go do that. That would have been fine. Trying to do that with Jason just didn't work for me. But
Yeah.
that's my opinion.
they got that expert Creighton Duke out of nowhere, and he's like, "I know
Yeah.
everything." He goes, "I know everything there is to know about Jason." I'm like, "Where the hell have you been, bro?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"There's like 7 or 8 movies you've
He
been
missed.
gone for." I'm like,
You could have saved a lot of lives if you just
Yeah.
showed up a
Yeah.
long time ago.
I'm like, "What makes you an expert, dude?" He has like his cowboy hat on and shit. I'm like,
Right.
makes no sense.
That was
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, and they misspelled Voorhees on the mailbox in that movie too.
Oh yeah.
Just little things like
Well,
that. I'm just like, what?
I'm
the
sure they felt
Right.
awful about it once they were
Oh,
done.
I'm
They're
sure.
probably like, "Oops." Yeah, I would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that one not my favorite. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I'm glad we're on the same page there.
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah, but yeah, like you said, everything after, especially after 3, it was like the guy in the hockey mask goes and kills people. The guy in the hockey mask goes and kills people. I mean,
Right.
like this one was a little different, and so if
Yeah.
that's what I like about the whole series. If you're in like even though they're very similar, they're also a little different. So like this
Sure.
one's more along the lines of like a whodunit mystery, that, you know, and then like we get the camp kills in the sequels, and then he's on a boat headed to New
Yeah.
York, and then he's in space,
He's been everywhere.
he's
Got
fighting
around.
he fought Freddy Krueger eventually.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's walking around Elm Street, or no, they went to Crystal Lake.
Yeah, he was on Elm Street.
Oh,
I
he was on
think.
Elm
Street,
Yeah.
a minute.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then they went to his territory. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, he's been everywhere. Which I'm sure they had no idea. That's where that would go when they first came up with this. But
Yeah.
That's what I hated about the remake, though. When they remade this film, they killed Mrs. Voorhees in like 30 seconds. I was like, why would they do that? I'm like,
yeah, I
they-
feel like they tried to combine like the first 3 movies into
Yeah.
one for that remake. And you were talking about Ken's favorite being Jason Goes to Hell. Sam's favorite is that remake. From,
Mhm.
and
I-
I will see. I actually like the remake. I really do, but it's just different. It's
Yeah.
I like it because it's I think it's fun. It's a lot of fun, and it's got just about every trope that there's some crazy ass kills, there's some comic relief. There's a girl with her top off that has stupendous nipple placement and all that kind of
Yes.
stuff. So yeah, and it's what's not to like about all that. But
what that guy say? I got a better chance of fucking a penguin than that.
yeah, that cracks me up. Actually, you've got another guy that's just sitting down there by himself, and he's about to start, I guess, playing with himself while looking at this magazine. There's all kinds of things in this movie. It's a fun movie. It just has a different feel than these older Friday the 13th.
Yeah. I think that's what Rob doesn't like about it.
It
It's not the same for
It
him.
didn't feel 80s
Sure.
to me, and I thought we had cooler kills back then. I just thought
Yeah.
I thought the kills weren't that much more than what we already got. So I was kind of like,
I got
I
you.
don't know.
There's yeah, we're see, you did it to me again. We're way off schedule right now.
Yes.
But
back
no,
to
there
back to your
is-
notes. Back to the notes, man.
There is one kill in that remake that I love, and that's when he kills the guy that goes back down there to the shed. He kind of stabs him in the. If he gets him in the throat, or like up under the chin with that thing, and it's just so brutal. I think is what I like about it. It may not be any more creative than anything that we've already seen, but it's so fucking brutal.
It
it
is a
just
brutal
looks so
scene.
rough and painful. So, again, a different feeling. I like the movie. It's just a different feeling than these first ones that we got.
For sure.
Nothing beats the old stuff.
I completely agree.
I love how the first 4 Fridays or the first 3 take place like a day apart. It's such good back-to-back watching. Like if you're marathoning a movie, like these movies flow together so well. Like
Right.
I think they're so cool. Like
I agree.
because 2, 3, and 4 are like a day apart, right?
I think so. I'm not 100%. I
think
think you told me that. I'm not.
I think they are.
Yeah,
I think that's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's super cool. Like,
I completely agree. Yeah, that's another reason that I really like this franchise as well. So I agree with you there. And then after we get that the first kill, we get into some of our characters. We've already talked about them a little bit. We've got Annie, who's hitchhiking, Ned, who is the jokester, some of the things he pulls there at the arrow range, the fake drowning. That's what I mean. When he acted like an Indian, that was funny. The arrow range and the fake drowning would probably have got on my nerves. But yeah. I mean, he's okay.
Yeah, well,
I think he's just lonely or something.
I think he'll pay for it though. I think he'll have.
I think you're right. I had also mentioned here the Steve Alice relationship in my notes. We talked about that. We have Jack and Marcy here. I've seen some theories, and I don't know if I ever noticed anything in this movie that points me in that direction. So I'm going to ask you guys, because Kayla, you mentioned Ned being lonely. I've seen theories that Ned liked Marcy, that maybe he had a crush on Marcy and was jealous of Jack. I don't recall ever seeing that in this movie myself, but I don't know. Maybe have y'all ever noticed that?
Shit, I have a crush on Marcy. Yeah. She's pretty hot. Like I think she's cute.
I never noticed that either. I thought they were all pretty friendly.
No,
but
he was creeping, like looking in the window. I think he was kind of like always poking around where Marcy was.
Maybe, yeah. I have to pay attention next time and look out for that because I never caught on to that before, but it could be true. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe so. And then speaking of Ned, he becomes our next kill, an off-screen kill. I don't like off-screen kills. It doesn't bother me horribly in this movie because at least we get to see, kind of what's happened to him a little bit later. And since it's the first one and they didn't do a whole lot of this afterwards, although that kind of seems to be, I think off-screen kills are a bigger thing in this first movie than they are later on in the franchise. But so there's not really much of a kill to talk about other than when we see his body later on. How do you guys feel about off-screen kills?
Of course we want to see we want to see the kill, but I think when a movie's full of kills, sometimes it's good to just mix it up with, oh, there's a body. Look over there, and just to save time and just to mix it up a little bit. I can see why it's necessary, but not everything could be like your favorite always all the time. You got to mix it up sometimes, and sometimes when you just give them a body in the corner, it'll make the next thing seem so much cooler. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I think it was kind of terrifying noticing they were on the bottom bunk and he was at the top.
Dude, no, they were banging with a dead guy above.
That's
them.
What I'm saying. It was creepy.
Yeah. So, I guess Ned was dead, but maybe he got like a show. I don't know. Maybe they gave him a show before he died, huh?
No, I think he was already dead.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, but Mrs. Voorhees was below them. So.
Oh yeah, you're right. So maybe
they were banging with a dead body above them, and Mrs. Voorhees below them. And unlike Jason, she waited for them to finish before she attacked. So I thought that was polite. That was polite of Mrs. Voorhees.
Yeah.
She let them finish, and she waited for him to hit his joint a few times. So
she's a little more courteous, I guess. But
I thought so. But there's so many documentaries about the making of this film, and I found out Tom Savini's the blood pumper thing broke in the middle of that, and he had to blow through the tube, and that's why Jack's throat is gushing and bubbling. That's a gnarly scene, dude.
That's so cool.
I love that scene, and I've read that same thing. They had to blow through the tube underneath the bed to make it come up there, and that's why the blood ends up going up into Kevin Bacon has part of the shock reaction is real because the blood squirts up into his mouth and he wasn't expecting that. So, very cool stuff like that. But
there was blowing under the bed too, not just in the bed.
God.
Wow. So anyway, yes, I see again. I just completely lost what I was about to say. Oh yeah, off-screen kills. While I'm not a huge fan of them, I do agree with what you're saying, Robbie, and I think the way they come back to those later can make it really cool. The fact that you see him laying above them in that bed. Later, Brenda gets thrown through the window. If you're going to do stuff like that to to make up for some of the off-screen kills, that I'm perfectly fine with. I just don't want to see a lot of bodies just laying around. Like, do something. Let the presentation of the body be really cool or something. But one or two here and there is not bad. This was fine under the circumstances.
Yeah, I agree. It's more of a variety thing where I think it works, where it's like for variety reasons, you know. Like so.
Right. No, I completely agree. Ned gets his kill off screen. We get some more time with Jack and Marcy and kind of see their relationship. Marcy talks about her dream, which about the storm and the blood and that kind of thing. We also see where Alice, Brenda, and Bill are off playing games. Let's talk about the Jack and Marcy kill a little bit. We mentioned it just now with some of the effect issues they were having with Jack. I like Marcy's kill. I don't know why. I think that the fact that, again, they're practical effects. I think that scene where she gets hit in the face with the axe looks so good still. I was, again, watching this again last night, and at that scene, I'm just like, that still looks better than 90% of the shit we see today. I mean, it just looks so good.
I think Cunningham, when he was making this, he's like, we need that guy from Dawn of the Dead. And that was that was Savini. He said, we need that guy from Dawn of the Dead that did all that practical effects. And I think from just documentary things, Savini says he always tries to keep the face real as much as he can. Right. And he tries to make everything else fake, like the weapon fake. And he said for that particular the dog
Bella.
Bella
keep talking. I can hear you.
Bella agrees. Bella definitely agrees with me. Yeah, but yeah. So Savini, he said that, like, he tries to keep, and what he did in that scene is he hit the axe against that light first.
So it sounded real.
So that way
it's real.
You could hear like the bing off the light, so you could see that the axe can do some damage. Followed by and
oh, hi, Bella.
What a cutie pie.
Yeah, she just needed to make an appearance real quick.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, we love dogs. Hi.
She's like, I'm still getting used to my new house.
Yeah, she does not like. She's used to a house, not an apartment. So the fact that she heard somebody across the hall has got her a little concerned. But you're gonna be okay.
Yeah, she's like,
hey,
you're okay.
She's like, fine. Get off my property. I own this building. I own this building.
She does. Now you're tired. You need a nap. You're tired. She even has a that's one of her dog toys. She even has Jason.
Nice.
Oh, very cute.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
All right. So sorry to interrupt there, Rob.
No.
Yeah, no, but I agree with you. The Marcy kill is really cool. That axe to the face looks really good. You got to keep in mind, this is like, they probably filmed this in 79. This was awesome, dude. And like, I just like the way Savini said, like, I try to always keep the face real and I try to keep the weapon fake. And that's what made it look so real, because that face, like, her face was real as she's like being hit with the axe, and that's a sick scene.
It's very effective. Yeah. It's done so well.
I swear to God, like, even today, we don't always get stuff that looks that good.
No,
like,
we don't.
And this is like 40 plus years ago. This is crazy.
It's just like Jaws, that no shark movie looks as good as that shark, and then the practical effects in this movie. A lot of new slashers, they don't have those.
Savini's a genius, and plus the guy has like abs at like 80 years old. I don't know how he does it. He's a jacked grandpa. Guy.
He is.
Like the guy is really strong.
He's in shape.
Like, we Googled him. We were making a Friday 13th review. We Googled him, and like, there's a picture of him. Like, I was like, holy crap, Savini.
Yeah,
like, this guy's
a big guy.
He's scary.
But he's so good at what he does. His kill in totally off topic again, but Maniac. I'm sure y'all seen Maniac, where he gets shot in the face with the shotgun. That also looks so good. Tom Savini's a genius. Yeah,
he built a fake head for that, and they were stuffing it with random stuff, and I think there was like apple cores and stuff. So when it exploded, all this random stuff flew everywhere. Yeah, the Prowler. That's another good one. He did the Prowler. There's so many. I mean, like, his IMDb page is probably crazy, but
I'm sure.
Yeah, he was the stuff he did was like ahead of his time, and I think for a while he was teaching effects. He had his own like school, like his own trade school, and he was teaching like special effects. So how cool would that be to learn from Tom Savini?
I know. That would be so cool, because that guy's a genius.
Yeah,
and I agree with everything you're saying. I think it looks so good. It's a great kill. The setup for it is good. I can definitely see. I mean, having seen the movie so many times now that I know it's coming, it doesn't have the same effect on me. But I can really see how this would have scared audiences as well back in like 1980. Just the setup for her kill. Jack's kill is kind of like.
Do you agree with me about Savini's abs?
I do. Yes, 100%.
Dude, right?
Sorry, I did not mean to skip over those like that. Yes,
it's impressive.
It really is. Yeah, he's a buff guy. Wow. So back to the movie. Jack's kill is more like sudden and kind of out of nowhere and startles you. But I like the suspense and the build up to Marcy's kill as well. I think that's probably Marcy's kill, I think, is my favorite kill in this movie. I think a lot of people would go with Jack's, and Jack's does look really cool. But the suspense and the build up behind Marcy's, that's my favorite kill in this one. Do you guys have a favorite kill in the movie?
Mrs. Voorhees for me.
Okay.
Spoiler, yeah. That was awesome. Like but I also like Jack and Marcy's too.
I say Jack and Marcy probably. It's hard to choose between the two of them, but I really like those. Yeah.
Well, Bill Christie's was kind of weak though. He was just like,
yeah.
That's all I saw.
See, that one could have been off screen. If that's all they were gonna do, that could have been off screen, and then let everybody show up somewhere else.
It still bothers me too because before that Christie was at a diner and I think he said keep the change, and I figured it out. The change was only like 75 cents. So he's a shitty tipper, man.
Yeah, he really was.
I mean, unless that was a lot of money in the 1980, I don't know, but I don't think it was.
Probably a little bit more. I know. It's so funny. I was just talking to somebody about this yesterday. So I was in 1980. I was only 8, but when I first started working at 16 years old, minimum wage was $3.25.
Wow.
When I was 16. So, and that was still a few years before then. So maybe 75 cents was a decent amount in 1980.
It could have been, yeah.
I thought you get killed for being a shitty tipper. I thought maybe that was like along the lines of like, sinning, banging, whatever.
Got it. Back over to Alice, Brenda, and Bill. The storm starts, and so Brenda ends up leaving. Her kill is for the most part off screen as well. I mean, we kind of see the setup to it, and then later again, she comes crashing through the window. That one, I don't mind that it's off screen because of the fact that the body comes flying through the window later. I like that part of it. So, but again, I still kind of what I was saying before. The group looks like fun. I'm sorry that got broken up for them in the middle of their strip game, their strip monopoly.
Oh no! But Bill was smooth, man. He was playing guitar for the ladies, and then somehow he talks him into strip monopoly, and they're smoking weed. So, I mean, Bill is a player, dude.
Yeah, he was onto something. It just got interrupted by the weather. So poor guy. But yeah. Any thoughts there as far as Brenda's kill?
Well, I know behind the scenes Brenda's kill when she jumped through the window, that was Tom Savini in a dress.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, that was Tom Savini. Like I saw the footage. It was Tom Savini dressed up in like a wig and a dress. So I think he's a stuntman too.
Yeah.
So
wow, I'm surprised we didn't see his abs when he came crashing through the window.
Yeah, well, I think he only got his abs like after 70. It was like a bizarre thing that happened to him.
It wasn't quite as good back then. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen to me when I just stay tuned, Kaylee.
Okay.
In my old age, it's gonna be wild.
Wow. I mean, I'm impressed. It's good to have goals like that.
This is the before photo.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Wow. Okay then. We'll move on to talking a little bit more about Bill and Alice. They hear Brenda scream, and then they go to investigate. That's when we also get Steve Christie's kill. We cut and find out his kill. The one thing that I did like about the scene, though, even though I'm not impressed with his kill, I like the fact that you can tell that he knows who this person is. That's the one thing that you pick up for this, because all this time, like you said, it's a whodunit. So we're wondering who is killing all these people. And even though we would have never thought, Mrs. Voorhees, I like the fact that they just briefly throw that in, that he knows who this person is, because that makes it even scarier, in my opinion. It's not just some unknown psycho that is running around out there. This is somebody that apparently they know. So I kind of like that little brief hint at that before he gets killed.
Yeah, no, I like that too. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing out here?" Oh.
Yeah.
Was there I think there was a backstory where Mrs. Voorhees like worked at the camp, or
she was the cook.
I was a cook.
Right.
She said this, I was a cook
for the Christies.
So
So he
for the
knows her.
Christmas,
Yeah, she
for his
worked for
family.
them.
Yeah,
I get they're former coworkers, I guess. So.
Yeah, well, his family owned the camp, so yeah, she worked for them. So that does tie that in very well as to how he would know who she is.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, so let's talk about Bill's kill. You mentioned that a little bit ago. Of course, they find the bloody axe. They realize the phones aren't working. Bill's still trying to be pretty cool and save everything. And then, Alice finds his body just pinned up to the door. I think that's kind of a Friday the 13th thing. We see that in several of the Friday the 13th movies. And so, again, that's where, even though the kill was off screen, because we get to see the leftovers. I don't know how else to put it, but I like that as well. That makes up for it not quite being on screen as well. But yeah, I think everything looks good. The effects in this movie are incredible. Tom Savini's a genius.
That's the that's the arrow to the eye. That one, Bill's kill, where he's up against he's tactic up against the door.
So, yeah.
And I think he got like the archery arrow to the face.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
And you got to keep in mind, like it's I like how it's like pouring rain the entire time throughout these scenes. So they're literally like running in the rain, and there's like thunder and lightning. And so like even if they're screaming, like who knows who could hear them or whatever, like
Well, and that's it. When they were hearing Brenda scream, it's very muffled because of the storms. Like they couldn't tell exactly what was going on. So yeah.
And the power's down for at least half the movie, right? Because they're like, "Where's the emergency generator? We need the emergency generator."
Yeah, they do talk about the emergency generator.
Are we? I think they were trying to lead us to believe that Ralph might have been the killer. Because I'm thinking, if I never saw this before and there's a crazy drunk guy walking around, I would think right away he's the killer.
Yeah, I probably would too. And maybe that was part of it. I forgot to mention Ralph earlier. We got sidetracked with the whole Indian dance and yell. I forgot about Ralph. But
I forgot that. But the first Ralph scene, Annie gets groped by the trucker. I forgot to throw that in.
Yeah, that's a weird
That's
scene.
a very creepy scene. I completely agree.
The guy double grabs the ass and he's like, "Let me help you, ma'am."
Yeah. I was intentionally trying to get away from that one, to be honest with you, because I was like, that. I don't know if it's just me seeing something that's not there, but I'm glad y'all mentioned it too, because that's a creepy scene.
Yeah.
he would get like a 1 star on Uber or some shit for that.
Fired.
No, Uber would not put up with that. This is before Uber, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a good thing.
But it's like, the ride I got a ride, but the trucker grabbed my ass and told me to quit my job.
Yeah.
And we didn't really back to Annie for a minute. I apologize. Mention her kill. The throat slitting for her looks good as well. I think that's again just more of Tom Savini's work. But I love the way these old movies do that. Kills in old movies look so much better. I enjoy Art the Clown. I like Victor Crowley. I like all the crazy shit that we get to see in those kind of movies. But I just don't think anything looks as good as the stuff we got back then. It just looks so much better.
I love that old school look, and I just think because they had to work so hard for it back then, they made sure it looked damn good.
Yeah.
So
they couldn't rely on a computer to do it, so they had to figure out how to make it look real and practical with like stuff they could touch, put in their hands.
Dude, 1980, they were probably like, "What's a computer?" Like nobody had it. They didn't have a computer. Nobody, So, but it is a good chase scene though. That Annie killed it. I think through the woods, like I think she hurts her leg, so she's like trying to like struggle and like
jumps out of the car while it's going down.
Yeah, well, she was smart and she figured out they were gonna hurt her, so she's like, "I'm out."
Right.
It looks like the fall almost with like the leaves on the ground.
I know it feels like it throughout the whole movie, even though technically, like we said, it's summer, but I guess in certain parts it was cold.
They're in New Jersey. It was New Jersey, so it was cold that time of year.
Yeah, it's northeast, so they have like
I
the
love
cold
the fall weather there.
They got some cold. There's some cold summer nights. I'm from New York originally.
Yeah.
I know what it's like. We had some cold summer nights here and there, so it did look like the fall though to me.
Yeah.
It had that October vibe.
I'm with you. And I didn't know you were from New York. I'm down here south in Oklahoma where it's just hot and stupid all the time. I keep telling for years, I've told everybody I know that at some point I'm going north. I don't know how far, but at some point I'm going north. I keep thinking Wisconsin, Michigan, maybe Pennsylvania. That area is what I like. Like that's where I would prefer to live. So I don't know if I'll really ever make it, but weather-wise, I would much rather be there than here.
Yeah, they
Well,
get pretty fall weather
the falls
there.
look the autumn weather looks awesome in the Northeast, like
Yeah.
Pennsylvania and Jersey and New York and
The leaves change. Yeah.
it looks really cool. Like here in Vegas, it's hot as balls every day. So
Yeah, that's the way it is in Oklahoma too.
yeah, we put a pumpkin outside like a jack-o'-lantern, and it collects flies in like an hour.
We can't.
So,
We have to use a plastic one. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you guys are looking at weather-wise today, but it's, we're about to hit October. And I think I saw that it was like 92, 93 degrees around here today.
Let me
That's what
see,
the
I'll look.
thermostat said in my car. Thermostat said in my car 92 degrees today. I was just like, that's ridiculous.
It's 86, it says.
Okay. Yeah, not the kind of weather I want this time of year.
No, but
cool.
it cools off at night a little bit, so we kind of get like as the further we get into the month of October, the nighttime drops down to like 65, so you can open the windows then. So I won't complain too much.
Our winter
that's
is
nice.
Our winter is like fall though.
We get like fall. Yeah. Our winter time is like fall New York weather, so you don't need anything other than like a hoodie. It's perfect.
Okay.
And I have a lot of horror hoodies. They look awesome.
I have like 2 or 3. I'm gonna have to step up the shirt game. I'm telling you. Yeah. See, okay. We've talked about Tom Savini's abs. We've talked about weather. We've talked about my dog. Maybe at some point on this show we should talk about Jason again. But yeah, we'll get back to that. We get Mrs. Voorhees finally showing up, and her confrontation with Alice. Go ahead.
This is the best Friday review ever, I think. I would put this up against anybody's. Like, I think we're doing good.
I appreciate that. I really do, because it's these kind of episodes that afterwards I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
What the fuck am I doing? Oh, that's good.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, we'll mention Jason a time or two and we'll wrap it up. I mean, that's just kind of the way it works. Yeah, so I do like the fact here when Mrs. Voorhees does show up. Did you know as soon as you saw her because of the creepy look on her face? Because this lady does a fantastic job of playing Psycho. The look in her eyes, the expressions on her face, she does an amazing job. And it's funny to me because apparently this was, if I remember right, the first horror thing that she had ever done. She had done more like stage plays and things like that. But she does a great job of playing creepy. And I kind of feel like even though you don't know immediately that she's the killer, I feel like as soon as she shows up, something's wrong.
Yeah, she has this weird, creepy energy about her as soon as you see her on screen, and her like sinister type of like smile she's got going on. You kind of can tell. You're like, what is this lady doing out here in the middle of nowhere during a thunderstorm? Like, it's weird.
Right away, she says her motive. She's like, I told them not to open up this place. And then she sees a body, and her reaction isn't really just, she kind of has like an oh my God reaction, but she's just like, oh, so young. So pretty.
So young, so pretty. Yeah.
She's not like holy shit.
She's being like sarcastic.
But I met Betsy Palmer. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh wow.
I met Betsy.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I met Betsy Palmer in 2009 at our convention, and she's like one of the sweetest ladies ever. Like, she is so cool, so nice. And I had her sign an 8x10, and I had her sign my Friday 13th poster. And then she told me the price of the autograph. She goes, and then she goes, she's like, that will be however much. She goes, because I'm a whore. And I just thought that was funny. And then on my poster, it's the original Friday poster, but I have like all the Jasons around it. And I explained to her, I tried to get all the Jasons around it from the sequels. And she said, oh, she's like, I never saw those. She goes, I never watched. She goes, I never watched those. Like, so the only movie she saw was probably the one she was in. And like you said before, I think she just wanted the money for her car, and she thought this was like a little indie film that nobody was going to see. That's really what I think.
She didn't expect much out of it at all. Yeah,
I think she thought it was going to be like forgotten about, and she'll just take the money and run. And it was just so funny. Like years and years later, she's signing autographs, and all these fans come up to her.
An icon now.
Yeah,
and that's going to be a good time. So I mentioned that I have a lot of Jason collectibles. I'm a huge fan of these ultimate NECA figures they put out.
Yes.
And when I saw they did this one that was actually her instead of Jason, I thought that was so cool.
That is such a cool figure.
Yeah, that's one of the ones I like the best. I was so happy
amazing
to find that one. Yeah. So that's what I thought I would show for this one. But yeah, she does a phenomenal job, I think. I think I saw somewhere as well that during the scene where she's slapping Alice, that she really hit her. That the actress that plays Alice freaked out for a minute because Betsy Palmer really slapped her. But but something about that's the way they did it on the stage, I think is what. Did y'all read that story? Have y'all heard that story?
I think we did hear that
no,
when you're watching one of the documentaries or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think she said that they were fighting almost for real, try to make it look good, you know. And but storyline wise, when Mrs. Voorhees, Betsy Palmer, shows up, she actually gives Alice like some dialogue. You know, the other people she just killed off. This one with Alice, she explains like why she did it.
On?
Jason should have been watched, all that stuff. So we know her motive. And like I said before, like Alice is just like, I don't even know who the hell you're talking about. She's like, I didn't know your son. She's like, I'm just, you know, this is just a summer job for me. Like, you know, so, but I also noticed like, she took out like grown men. She took out like everybody without a problem. And Alice is kicking her ass. So
the most trouble.
She's tired from, you know, fighting all the other people.
My theory is like Alice might know karate or something. Dude.
Oh, okay.
That's my theory. And
she's at the Johnny Lawrence Cobra Kai school or something.
Dude, she took a fire poker and she nailed her right in the vagina. If you watch that movie, she hits her right in the vagina.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do, yes.
Yeah, it's a vagina spear.
Oh no! Yeah. Oh, I guess she was doing it before Art was, huh?
No. I'm just saying, like she had a rough time with Alice, and it's a pretty damn good fight scene considering it's an older woman. It's an older woman. It's a young lady, and it's 45 years ago. It's a pretty damn good fight. It's a pretty damn good fight scene.
It is.
Yeah, but I have always thought it was funny, like what Kelly was talking about, how she's managed to kill Ned. She's managed to, stab up through a bed to get Kevin Bacon's character through the neck. She was able to pin Bill to a wall. Like, she's able to do all these amazing things. And then she really struggled with Alice for some reason. But I guess she was just tired. I really have no idea.
I think if you look closely though, at like when she grabbed Jack, like you could tell it's not female hands. You could tell those are man hands. It's like it's like
well, maybe she has manly hands, Rob.
No, she got the Tom Savini hands, dude. I'm telling you.
I don't know. Maybe that was her, and that's where Tom Savini got inspired to start working out and become more manly and get those abs himself.
He did the Voorhees workout.
Yeah,
the Voorhees workout.
But yeah, such a fun scene. Very well done. The fight's great. The only thing that I find myself chuckling at a little bit, even though I think she's a tremendous actress and did a great job, some of her yells seem a little off. When Alice does hit her or something, and the way she kind of yells back, I'm like, that part maybe didn't sound as great. But overall, everything is really good. I love this. And then, of course, the finale where Alice finally,
can we get a frying pan? She knocked the mama at her with a frying pan.
Not the mama.
We got that because Mrs. Voorhees was knocked out for a minute, right? Yeah.
A very brief minute. Yeah, it didn't last long, but for a minute.
But I remember that sound like that boom.
It sounded good. It sounded like she hit her hard.
Mm-hmm.
But a great scene. And then, of course, the finale where Alice comes up, and I think the score is tremendous here as well, where Alice finally gets to chop her head off.
That's such a great decapitation scene.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It still looks so, even now, again, we talked about it already, but how good the effects look. It looks so great.
If that was done today, I think they would have done it fast so you don't notice like the mistakes. This was done in slow motion. So you got to see Savini's work was on display. That fake head, and then I think I saw the making. He put the fake head on his back, and when they cut it off, he went like this, like, oh god, that was his hands. But that head, the way that head came off, it just looks so cool, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And
I completely agree.
Yeah, dude, that's such. And you see, when it's headless, you see the spine.
Tendons.
You see the spine and the vertebrae and the neck bone just popping out of the. It looks so good.
Yeah,
dude. It looks so good.
Yeah, because I think today they probably would have just concentrated on more giving us a whole lot of blood come pouring out or something, and missed some of those other details that they added then. So I think it looks great. Great kill, great scene.
That's what I'm saying. The remake didn't do that for me. I'm like, the remake, I wasn't like, oh my god. I was like, this is amazing. I was just like, oh, okay. It's just like, I don't know. It was just like one of those films I just watched and I'm like, it was all right. But I wanted to be blown away.
No, I get it, and it's just, I mean, again, it was just a different kind of movie. I mean, this movie was about the remake was about nipple placement. Rob, you gotta appreciate that for what it is, because the original from 1980 didn't have that nipple placement that the
Yeah.
remake has. So
No,
Yeah.
I was so excited about that when that movie came out. I was so excited about it. I was like counting the days down. I was so excited,
yeah,
and I was like, in my head, I was like, they're gonna show Jason drowning as a kid. I'm like, they're gonna show Mrs. Voorhees like kill spree. They're gonna show like all this stuff, and it was like not what most of it was like. We're following these kids as they're looking for weed. I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like,
yeah, it's a little different for
Yeah.
sure, but yeah, it's fun in a different way. I guess.
yeah.
don't
I
know.
hope Sam's watching.
Sam, remember, if you are watching, I'm trying to defend this movie. I like
Yeah.
this movie.
I don't mind it either. I kind of like
yeah,
it.
but it's not-
I'd rather see
it's
Miss
not
Voorhees
people.
get hit in the head. I'd rather see her get hit in the vagina.
Okay.
That's cooler.
You know, that's okay. You watch those. You watch the vagina spears,
Yeah.
and I'll watch the other chick dance around. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Bro, it was with a fire stick poker. It was very
Oh.
creative.
I've
I'm
never
sorry.
heard ever. I've been on this earth for 53 years, and I've never heard anybody talk to me about a vagina spear. So thank you, Robbie. I appreciate that.
The movie's 45 years old. It's about time we talked about it, people.
we can't just overlook this anymore.
Yeah, you heard it first on Sean's Horror Corner.
Yeah, just you didn't hear it from me, but you did hear it first here. And then, of course, we get Alice now. You know, she goes and gets in the boat. We have that famous scene where Jason jumps up behind her.
That's a beautiful scene too.
It is a good scene, and,
Oh,
and
like-
I think it probably, you know, I don't remember 100%, but I'm sure it did scare me the first time it happened. And you
No,
weren't
the
expecting
piano.
that.
Dun dun
Yeah.
da da dun. Dun dun da da da. Like they'd lure you into a false sense of security. You think it's all over. You think Alice got
Right.
away, and Savini actually said he got the idea from Carrie. Watching the movie Carrie at the end when her hand reaches up from the grave.
Yeah.
He basically just said, let's rip off Carrie, and he didn't think much of it. And because of that, I think they were like, oh, did they just set up for a sequel? Like it kind of like it got people thinking like that. And that wasn't the case, because I know for a fact, like Tom Savini said in interviews, they asked him to do Friday 2, and at the same time he got offered to do The Burning. He took The Burning because he thought Friday 2 would be a flop because it doesn't. He's like, you're not following the story at all. He goes, but The Burning kicks ass, though. I just want to say,
yeah, Burning's a good movie. I agree.
Yeah,
I mean, I like Friday the 13th better, but The Burning is good. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
There should have been like 10 sequels of The Burning. I don't know why there wasn't. Like we keep seeing Jason come back after like getting blown up, after getting his head chopped off, and Cropsey just gets an axe and he's gone forever. It's like, why is he gone forever?
Albert had that final guy strength.
Bro, what I want to see is a Burning remake with Jason Alexander, George from Seinfeld come back and just be like,
that would be hilarious.
Jerry, there's a guy in the woods, Jerry.
I think you should start working on that. You should put that one together.
Why they don't listen to me? They're gonna be like, who's this guy talking about vagina hitting?
Yeah.
Oh my.
That's a different kind of channel to talk about that kind of thing.
And senior citizens with abs.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. Well, I thank you for bringing that kind of stuff to my channel, though. I do appreciate that, because I don't know where else I would get that.
My goal is next time you watch this film, you look at it in a different way.
Oh, I'm sure I will. I'm really sure I will. I mean, I'm sure I'll still love it, but it's going to hit me totally differently than what this one did.
Like a fire poker.
Exactly. Yeah. Wow. Did you think the first time? I'm not even looking at the notes anymore. I'm done. Did you think no, I'm kidding. I really was. I really was.
I feel bad.
No, I really was done with the notes. I just thought I would add that for dramatic effect. So I can act too. The first time you saw this movie, and I don't know, I'm sure you were probably much younger, but would you have expected a sequel with the sequel that you got? Is that what you would have expected? Do you remember what your reactions were for anything like that?
I think the first time I saw this movie, I knew there was a sequel already, because there was a couple of them out. there was a couple of them out already, and I think the first time I caught it, it was on TV because I have trouble sleeping at night always, so I would put it on. Horror movies were always in the middle of the night, and a lot of times, like they would play like all the Fridays or something like that, or they'd play a couple of them in a row. So I would stay up, watch Friday 1, Friday 2, so that's why I think but I kind of already knew there was a sequel, but I'd be curious to know like how they set it up because nowadays the fans just look into things like way too deeply, and they're like, oh, if you look closely, you can see like air bubbles coming up from the ocean, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't think
and social media gives everything away, that kind of thing. So it's totally different now. When I first saw, I saw Friday the 13th 2 before I saw 1. So I was kind of like you, but I didn't even know. When I saw Friday the 13th 2 and I see Jason with the bag head, I just assumed that was what was in 1 too. So when I saw 1 later, it was still a complete shock to me because I just had no idea. I mean, I was probably, I don't know, 12, 13 years old and just didn't know what happened in the first one. So it still shocked me. And I think initially, and this is kind of where I wanted to get to as we got ready to wrap it up, I think initially I was disappointed that this wasn't Jason. Because I had seen 2, I knew that is Jason, I knew the bag head, and I'm like, this isn't Jason, this is some old lady. So for me, it was a little disappointing the first time, just to be honest. And then after going back and watching it again, then I'm like, oh no, this is actually still pretty cool, and especially since this was before. We talked about it. Go ahead.
To me, I think it's scarier to have Jason. To me, I think it's to have him as a camp story, to have him as folklore, to have campers be like, have you heard the story about Jason Voorhees? To have it like to have it more of a ghost story rather than seeing him physically, to me, it's almost like scarier. So I think that's what's really cool about this one is that Jason is just like, it's a wild tale. You know what I mean? That people are just like, a
local legend.
Yeah, like a local legend. Some people believe it, some people don't. Like, I think that's kind of neat. Like, I really think that's what makes this movie really cool.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. I can see that. I'm very curious as we go through this franchise to find out which one of these films is each one of your favorites. Because you really make an interesting case early on here to make it sound like this first one is your favorite, Robbie. Am I right?
I think it is. Yeah. I mean, there are other Fridays I like, but to me, they all flow together. And like, I just look at it like it wouldn't have happened without the first one. So I just love going back. I love going back to the beginning. With slasher films, with me, the older the better. So I love the vintage early 80s. I love that. And but I can go all the way up to I love CJ Graham, Kane Hodder. I love what they did. I love what they did later on with it too. So I even thought like parts of Jason in Space was fun, So
right. Again, just a different feel, but yeah, it was still fun. I agree.
But I would say that I give a lot of credit to this film. It's in my top 3 favorite movies of all time because I just think I love this movie. Like it's up there with Halloween and Texas Chainsaw and the original Friday. I hate that remake. I hate that remake though. I just it shouldn't be there. It just shouldn't be there.
I was beginning to get the feeling that you might not like the remake. So
yeah.
I don't know where I was getting that from, but yeah.
Did you see the recent thing they did with the Angry Orchard Apple thing where they released like
the Jason Universe.
The Jason Universe released like a half an hour short film.
A horror short,
yeah.
I mean, I didn't watch them, but I heard about it.
Oh, you should check it out because I thought it was pretty good.
Pretty cool, yeah.
I mean, how long has it been? Like 16 years since we've seen Jason.
Time. So it was just nice to see a Camp Crystal Lake movie.
It's a short movie. It's a bunch of kids going to Crystal Lake, and Jason pops up and starts messing with them. But at the same time, they're plugging their alcohol company, so they're like, "But first, a sip of this beverage."
That's true.
There's a lot of that going on, but we get to see the new Jason do his thing, and it surprised me how the new Jason is not a big guy. It looks like he's just he's a regular sized guy. He's not small, but he's not like Kane Hodder. So I was just wondering if you saw it. You said you haven't seen. You should check it out right after this. Just check it out.
Well, first I was going to try to find some Sean Cunningham porn videos, and then I wanted to go look at pictures of Tom Savini's abs. Yeah. And then I'll put that as third on my list. So.
All important things to do.
On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you guys rank Friday the 13th from 1980?
9.5 out of 10.
We gave it a 9.5 on our review, and I stick by that. So, because it's one of the major like pillars that like invented the slasher to me. Halloween came first, but I feel like this Halloween was suspense and like all that. I think Cunningham was like, I'm going to show the gore. I'm going to show the boobs. I don't care.
Right.
And I think that with Halloween is what got copied over and over again all through the 80s. And we still see the influence today. And I even love that part of Scream where he's like, "Who's the killer in the first Friday?" And she goes, "Jason." He's like, "Incorrect."
Yeah,
that's just so, I don't know. To me, that's just so cool. It's like it's pop culture, dude.
Yeah, Jason is pop culture. Even if you don't watch horror movies, people know who he is.
Yeah,
you know?
everybody knows Jason. The hockey mask. I mean, anybody that sees a hockey mask thinks Jason. So yeah, whether they ever watched one of the movies or not. So I agree. And for me, I agree with what you were saying about what Halloween, the comparison to Halloween. I think that, if I can say this the right way, I think Halloween is a better movie than Friday the 13th.
Yeah, so
but I really appreciate what they did with going that next step of trying to take what Halloween did and just take it to another level. And because of that, and I really don't, I mean, I talked a little bit about Ned not being as funny as he thinks he is to me. And I'm joked about a few other things here and there, but I don't really have any issues whatsoever with this movie. I think this one is a 10 out of 10 for me as well. They're not all in the franchise. There's another one coming pretty soon that I like even better than this one. And we'll get to that eventually. But yeah, for me, for this one that starts the franchise, the way they did everything, the special effects, the score, this is classic. This is great. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with my 10 out of 10. Are you excited about the Crystal Lake series?
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
And I don't, what we just talked about, I wonder if that was like a preview to what we're going to see on the show.
Oh, the horror movie short?
Yeah. You had an interesting theory that you think that the lake is possessing people. I think that's really a cool way to go.
Yeah.
Because it kind of like makes what Ralph said true. Like,
it'll be an interesting way to go.
In the little short, the girl went into to Crystal Lake and she comes out like a ghost almost. So Kaylee's like, did the lake turn her into something weird, like a zombie? Okay. And I was like, maybe it does have a death curse. I don't know. So
that would just be a really interesting way to tie back in something that was from the original film and like make the lake supernatural. I think that would be really cool because it would explain Jason. I don't know.
Yeah, and that also means that Mrs. Voorhees blamed the counselors for no reason. Yeah. It was the water the whole time.
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
That crazy old lady.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and check out these shorts that you were talking about because I'm very curious. But yeah, I'm excited about the Crystal Lake series as well. I just want something else, Jason. It's been too long. So I would love to see something with Jason.
We got the video game, but that I don't think that lasted long. Like we got the video game and a few updates, and then it just stopped. So then I'm like, damn. But I played that video game. It was pretty cool for like a little while.
I played it a little bit. Yeah. So I played that one as well, and I hadn't really played video games in quite some time before that, but I played that one. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. So
yeah, they had cool.
We're getting a Halloween. We're getting a Halloween video game next year. That looks really good.
That does look good. I'm excited about that one too.
It's going to be a good. The Hellraiser games coming out. It's gonna be a good year for video games.
Yeah, I agree. So are you guys going to be interested in? I thought maybe November. I would try to get you guys back on to wrap up A Quiet Place, and then. Once we get through that, then we can come back and talk about Friday the 13th too, if you are interested.
We are definitely interested.
Oh, I'm definitely down. This is fun. I think we did like the best Friday review on the internet. I don't think anyone could touch us.
I don't think anybody can compare to this either. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but I don't think they can do it.
It definitely stands on its own, this review. So I think I want to do this with the sequel. I think we can. And
I don't think I can stop you, Robbie. I don't think I can stop you. So
bring the notes, and I won't follow them.
That's perfectly okay. Probably at some point I'm going to have to really do some self-reflecting. I may just stop taking notes now. I'm not sure at this point, but
no, because I need somebody to steer the ship.
Man. I'm kidding. I was kidding.
If you just let me go on my own, it's going to be.
We're going to talk about things off topic the whole time.
Kaylee struggles with. Kaylee has to edit so much stuff out that I say, and she's like, "I can't do that, Rob. We can't put that on YouTube, Rob." And I'm like, So like the final product is just a quarter of what I say usually.
Interesting. And yeah, see, I don't edit anything, so anything you say on here, it's popping up there.
Oh.
So don't get me kicked off. Don't get me kicked off YouTube, Robbie.
I apologize in advance. You should have a disclaimer.
Maybe I need to start doing that. Yeah.
I could say vagina. You could say vagina.
Well, it's a body part. I think you.
Yeah,
You can
think
curse on here too. They made
Yeah.
it recently. They said after the first minute,
But
I think, right? You can curse now.
I said speared with a fire poker in the vagina. But
you were explaining a scene in a movie.
Maybe it's the context I said it in.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
All right, let me know if you hear
Make
from
sure
them.
we're doing it that way. I will absolutely. Tell everybody before we get off here. Tell everybody what you have coming up over there at That Horror Couple.
I'm gonna try some freaky stuff with a fire poker.
No.
And
we're continuing doing our Daryl Dixon season 3 like weekly recaps. And this is coming out in October. So we will also be reviewing The Black Phone 2 this month. So we're looking forward to that one. And we will be starting our weekly recaps on the It Welcome to Derry series at the end of October. So make sure you're checking that out.
Don't we got a Bretman thing?
Oh, yes. And we have on Chills and Thrills, a watch party will be on there October 26th, 5 o'clock Pacific time to do Trick or Treat watch party. So check that out.
Please do.
Very cool. Yeah, everybody go check them out. If you haven't become a member, do so. Channel's definitely worth it. So
thanks.
And then, no, you're very welcome. And then let's see, next week here on my Horror Corner, I will be with Aaron from A&B Horror Movies is coming on. We're going to talk about the original Nightmare on Elm Street. And then later in the week, Bo from Critic After Dark will be on, and we'll be talking about the original Hellraiser and Pinhead. So, yeah, that's what I have coming. And then, we'll keep going from there. Other guests coming on. Ken from Sledgehammer Horror will be on soon to talk about Child's Play. Brendan and Sam from Our Life in Horror are coming on to talk about Candyman and Scream. So yeah, a lot of good stuff coming. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. So
you got a lot of good creators coming on your show. I mean, it's a good lineup.
Yeah, it's a fun month, and then we'll go from there. Mike and Serial will be on my channel for the first time the end of October. In fact, I think I'm trying to remember what day that episode comes out. I almost want to say it's Halloween, but it might be the day before Halloween, the 30th. On Terrifier, the first Terrifier movie with Mike and Serial. So that'll be fun as well.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, a lot of fun stuff coming up. So if you don't already, please subscribe. Follow me on social media. I'm on pretty much everything out there: Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, X. I have a letterbox that you can follow. But hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave us some comments. Let us know what you think about the original Friday the 13th movie. If you like it as much as we do. If you think Robbie lost his damn mind tonight and some of the things that he talked about,
everything,
let me know that as well.
Everything I said was true. You could watch the movie. It happened.
Yeah, no one that watches this video will ever watch Friday the 13th the same again. And so you're welcome, and I'm sorry. That's pretty much that's what we got. Anything else you guys want to share before we get off here?
I think we're good. We had a great time talking about Friday the 13th.
I think we're gonna try to do some October-y things for the channel.
Yeah, we'll do some spooky horror movie reviews. We'll add in there. So thanks for having us on, and thank you so much.
And please check us out. And we're gonna try to make October a cool thing. So because us horror fans, we go crazy in October. So
we really do.
Yeah.
We really do. This is our time. So thank y'all both so much for coming on. I really do. It's always great. Every time y'all are on here, it's so much fun. So I already can't wait to have you come back and wrap up the Quiet Place franchise with me. So thank you all again.
Thank you.
It was a lot of fun. And everyone, that pretty much will wrap it up. So again, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.